A quick howdy as we closed out the weekend. I actually had a week off doing a little old honey-do list. I ended up having to fix the sink. There was some stuff that I had to take care of. Replaced the little baseboard because it got a little wet. And then I fixed the gate on the fence. And then I cut a log, this big log that I had that I need to cut up and burn. And then I did get out there and do a little fishing. In this case, I was able to do some wade fishing over there at Denison Dam. And that sure was fun, especially learning how to remember or learn the new contour ever since they dredged it out this past year or so. It's definitely changed the water or the river contour, where before I had some places memorized where I could just walk out, cut over, and get to this one particular location, this rock that stuck out of the water. That was a consistent spot where I would catch fish. That's not there anymore. However, what is there are some other places that you can get to that I kind of marked off in my head, and I did it in relationship to the stairwells that go down into the from the top down into the river. And those is what I'm keying off of as a reference point when I'm heading into the water and then cutting over the right or left and trying to get these particular locations. Because what I noticed, let me see, I think I need to show you instead of just tell you. All right, so let me see if I can find something here to tell you what it looked like. Okay. I think I might have a map feature. Let's see. It's going to be hard to show you. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Okay, well, maybe I can... I've got this little pad right here. Let me grab that. That might work better. All right. Bear with me as I grab something. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, let me clear this out right here. All right, so what I wanted to, wow, this is, bear with me. I gotta clean this off here if I'm gonna be able to tell you what. So this round, what I wanted to talk about was, so I put out a couple of videos, live streams, rebroadcast streams when I went to Denison Dam this past weekend, or this past Thursday, Friday last week when you usually had a little time off from the day job. And what I wanted to do was let you know some of the things that I learned that may help you next time you get out there. And I'm talking about Denison Dam. That's the Texoma tail race to Texoma, located on the border of Oklahoma and Texas. Go up Central Expressway, Highway 75, run up there. That's going to actually convert into Highway 69 in Oklahoma, but that's where you'll be going. All right, Mateo, hello, howdy. How's it going? All right, so let's talk about Denison Dam. Okay, I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of folks posting things and whatnot, and well, maybe this is a good opportunity to answer some questions that folks might have. All right, looks like you have a question. Yes, go for it. I'm listening. All right, is it about Denison Dam? Or maybe fishing? Okay, let's fix that. Denison Dam. Are you... No, I'm not. Are you teaching music or history? No. I do have my ukulele here. Okay, so Denison Dam, right here. Okay, fishing, yes, fishing. That's what we're talking about. Denison Dam and some fishing tips or things that I picked up this past weekend. So one, let me think. I guess the main takeaway this past trip was when they are not generating, there's some key places that you want to try to target, okay? So when not generating, and when I say generating power, okay, not generating. All right, I think it's backwards. Yeah. Wonder if there's a way I can flip the camera around or something. Oh well, tiger trout. No tiger trout here. Okay, not generating. I would say the first takeaway that I learned when they were not generating is over there by the Oklahoma wall. There's a lot of striped bass that are hanging out in that area, and they all seem to be wanting shiner, or not shiner, but shad, okay? As well as these small jigs with shad on there, okay? So not generating, Oklahoma wall, that seemed to be a place to go for the striped bass. Additionally, if you go further downstream and you go right by the second stairwell on the Texas side, or basically right straight off the sandy boat ramp that they have on the Oklahoma side, and kind of head to the middle of the river, it'll start getting a little bit deeper. Actually, it'll get deeper. That seems to be a place where they're kind of lingering, okay, when they're not generating. So I'll call it the pool for now. Second stairwell / boat ramp. Let's say that. Okay. When they're not generating, take a look at the Oklahoma wall. Bring you some shad. See what you can do about catching a striped bass or two. If not, go to the second stairwell straight out, or the boat ramp on the Oklahoma side straight out. And that pool area there, they seem to be lingering. And then additionally, at times I was noticing them kind of going through the rock areas. Okay. All right. Fish right, and I see. I don't know about a black shadow or whatever. Just go fishing. All right. Rocks. By the rocks, you'll see by the second stairwell, again, kind of key off the second stairwell on the Texas side or straight off the boat ramp. You'll be seeing a set of rocks there. It's about 1 to 2 to 3 feet deep. You can pretty much go fairly deep into or far into the middle of the river, and it still gets about thigh up to maybe hip deep. Okay, and then let's see. That's when they're not generating. Now the other thing is when they are generating. Okay, and right now, like last week when I checked out the schedule, the hydropower release schedule, or generation schedule, at least the published one, they didn't have anything planned for, I think it was the weekend. However, because of on-demand power and whatnot, they do get the call to start generating electricity. And what I noticed, and I think some others have called it out, is either a couple hours in the morning, if not 3-4 hours, they'll kick off early morning, and then it'll kind of die out. I was going there well past the morning, about 11 o'clock in the morning, if not at noon, to go fishing. And by then, the generation had dropped and the water flow had slowed down, and the river height had dropped down as well. Let's see, but that's a good time to try. And then they seem to be kicking off generating. If you look at the real-time release schedule, that gives you historic about the past 24 hours, as well as about 15 minutes, sort of real-time update. I could see that they were generating between 6 and 10 at night. And when they were generating, what seemed to be working well was go to the Texas wall, fish there, as well as along the rocks on the Oklahoma side, okay, and floating jig rigs. I think some folks were using poppers and whatnot. That seemed to be doing well. So I would say, yes, those are some of the key things. When you're fishing Denison Dam, depending on what they're doing with the generation, power generation, adjust as need be. When I say adjust as need be, your tactic. In the case of not generating, You'd be fishing bait. You may have some lures and whatnot. Usually the same small jigs and whatnot, or those pencil poppers or popper style lures seem to be working well. And then the smaller jigs, not the big baits and whatnot. Instead, these little small jigs, like 1/8 ounce. Yeah. Yours truly, I went out wade fishing. I took the switch rod, which is a 11-foot switch rod, two-handed style casting, but you can still cast one-handed. I took that out when I went wade fishing, and that was, I got a few there, not that many. But then the next day I went in the kayak, took out the TFO 9-foot 6-weight, and I was using the OPST Commando head. It's a shooting head style Skagit head that allows me to cast surprisingly far from a sitting position, because I'm using a sit-inside kayak, and I'm fishing for these striped bass from there. And then the other thing that I learned was, at least this year, they want something that is got a whitish color with a kind of blackish back, and then some flash on the sides. That seemed to be the go-to fly in this case. And I'm trying to retie. I've got this one fly that I picked up from the Green River Outfitters down near New Braunfels, Texas, over there on by the Guadalupe River, and had that fly. It's been a go-to one for striped bass over the years up at Denison, up here in North Texas. And it's beat up now. I mean, it's missing the eyes. There's missing a lot of the body material and everything, but it still catches fish. In fact, I limited out with that one fly. I did make or at least a semi-mimicking one, imitation of one, and it caught fish, but I don't think it caught as many as it could have if I tied it more closely like the original. I stopped at Cabela's this past weekend and picked up some more tying material that I think I'm going to be very close to be able to tie that thing again, and maybe try that out the next round. So I'm excited there. And then on top of that, some of the other flies that I was using were not working, but I noticed this type of fly, it does look like a lefty deceiver, less the saddle hackle that runs on the sides of a lefty deceiver. And but if you can't find one, I would say get you one in white with a little black kind of back-like thing, or kind of shadow, darker area on top. Give that a try, and I bet that would still get you some bites or two out there fishing Denison Dam. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can. I got them right here. Let me go grab them. All right, bear with me. Okay, I got it right here. Okay, this is the fly that I use, and it got beat up. That you can barely see that there's not much left of it now. Look at that. And it's all beat up, all right? So it's got a little white, got a little kind of darkish thing, and then it had this crystal flash-like deal, and then this kind of, I thought it was peacock herald, but it isn't. It does have a little shimmer to it. And then before, it used to be wider bodied and had an eye, two eyes in the middle here, all right? And that is what I limit out with at Denison. I did try tying one that I thought could be it, but I didn't have the right hooks. And it's this, which is kind of like a lefty deceiver, but without the saddle hackle, okay? And guess what? I caught some more fish with this. All right? Not as much as the original pattern, but I certainly did catch some. So this past weekend, I picked up as close as I could at Cabela's these hooks right here. All right, size 4. It's basically the same as the hook that's on there, except these have a little bronze color versus the silver that is on the original fly. And then additionally, it is about a hook eye length longer than the original. So this is a slightly longer than the one that I have picked up. But I think I can make some adjustments there, and I think I can get it to work. Okay. So that's my plan. Initially, I set up the ATEM Mini Pro switcher so that I can actually stream vertical now, and I should be able to do a fly tying video that's, previously I was using this format here where I put the tying vise here, and I start tying the fly and I explain what we're doing. And that's a quick tying method or a quick setup method, but I think you need to get a closer look at it. And so I set up this switcher to do multi-cameras as well as add in my iPad device so I can maybe even show you the fly in use and that it can catch fish. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to get that out here in the next week or so. Additionally, other than hitting some of the local ponds that I plan on hitting here the next week as well, I did take out the Tinkara rod. Hadn't fished with that one in a while, so I was like, hey, let's go dust off this thing and give it a try. And sure enough, I got a few bluegill with it, had a couple of bass kind of pop at it, but unfortunately I didn't do as well as I normally do fishing that Tinkara rod. Main thing with that I noticed with the Tinkara rod though is does force you to fish closer into the banks, and guess what? I've caught many a fish without having to cast at the middle of a pond. So consider that if you're thinking about getting into Tinkara fishing. All right, it's not fly fishing, but it does allow you to cast flies, and in some cases, it's a real game changer for your trip to be able to switch from traditional gear. And oh, by the way, the fish are biting on these bugs and whatnot, and lo and behold, you have the ability to go try and mimic them, match the hatch, and see if you can catch something with those flies. All right, and I also like keeping one handy because then I can get into fishing fairly quickly. All right, I did take the I did take the Yoyito hand line. Let me go grab it. Bear with me. Okay. All right, so I did take some hand lines right here. This is one that I purchased. This is the Yoyito Cuban style hand line right here. Yoyito comes with a little pack here. It's metal. Cost you like $50 or something. I got it on the whim. All right, and I ended up catching like a 20+ inch catfish at the local pond, fishing some bread. All right, hand line fishing. All right, but guess what? Since yours truly's got a 3D printer, and I'm always into kind of making things with it, I do a lot of 3D printing related to something broke, I need to fix it, I can replicate it. Or maybe, let's say, some of this camera gear or mounting gear that I have, I need an attachment, an adapter. I just look online, see if someone's already designed something with it, and I print it and I'm able to use it. But with this one lately, I took a design of this Yoyito. This is aluminum. I made one out of a 3D printed material right here. Okay, much lighter. It's pretty hefty, and it can catch fish too. All right, because you're using your hand, you know. So what I've done is I'm trying to catch something as big as what I had caught using the original aluminum one, and so I just take this and keep it in my work bag when I go to my day job, And lo and behold, if there's an emergency need to pull over and fish a particular location because it's looking promising, I've got this baby handy. All right. Let me turn off this other microphone. I don't think we need it. Let's see. I'll mute it. Yeah, let's mute this other microphone. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's muted. Yeah, I got two microphones, and it's mainly because I also use this setup for podcasting as well as for music. Music. Here, in fact, here, I'll show you. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's why I've got two microphones. You heard that microphone, this microphone. Okay. All right. So that said, that's what I keep handy. All right. So just wanted to do a little howdy tonight and give you some updates on some of the recent happenings with yours truly, doing a little fishing, some fishing updates. And at this point, we're going to have to call it because yours truly got to get ready for his day job tomorrow. All right. All for now. Next time, we'll catch you all later. Good luck and good fishing.